kids, it's the Mr. and Fly here, hope you're well. Now, this is the long-awaited moment. I'm riding the Triumph Thruxton R. This is the brand new liquid-cooled version that's been long-awaited and is the kind of flagship, if you like, of the current new crop of Triumph Bonnevilles. It's got a 1200cc liquid-cooled engine, produces something like 97 brake horsepower, so tuned up a bit over the other Bonnevilles for the torque to be a bit more high-end or higher up slightly than on the Street Twin and on the T120. It's got a completely different seating position to the other bikes. It's not uncomfortable. Anyway, I'm going to take it for a little spin, see what I think. If you stick around, stay tuned, I'll let you know. One thing I've noticed almost immediately with the bike is the indicator button. It's quite small and stumpy on this compared to the other machines, and in my particular gloves, it takes a bit of getting hold of. Minor point, but nonetheless it's something that you notice immediately. This little button here doesn't poke out quite as far as you would expect. Let's see if I can get past this vehicle. Plenty of go on the bike again. That 1200cc engine is lovely. Check the big old mirrors. For real world riding, the engine is lovely. The other thing that immediately struck me about the bike is for a machine that's got clip-on handlebars, the seating position is completely in extreme, if that's a word. Coming from my sports bike, my Panigale, it just feels like a different animal entirely. It's closer to the GS than it is a sports bike, so don't be intimidated by the fact that it's got clip-ons. These are obviously clip-ons intended for old men. They've got bar risers on them, and you don't feel at all cramped on the bike. Your feet are back from underneath your knees, so in a bit more of a sporty position. A bit more similar, I suppose, to the Street Triple, but it's certainly not a contorted position in any way. The other thing you immediately notice when you jump on the Thruxton for the first time is it sounds fantastic. This has got standard pipes on, but they've again kept the 270-degree firing order, and it sounds really nice, this bike. The pipes are quite different to on the other of the new Bonnevilles, and therefore it does sound different to the other bike. It's got a much lower thrum and is much more to my liking. Now, if you had ridden the old air-cooled Bonnevilles, you may have been hugely disappointed with the amount of poke that those bikes had with the old 900cc engine. You won't be disappointed with the poke on these. Thank you, sir. They do feel like they want to go, these bikes. Let's get some noise. Nice. Suspension on this is pretty fancy. It's got the Showa big piston forks on the front. In fact, exactly the same adjustable as on my Panigale 899, which is amazing. And on the rear on this, you've got actually Olin suspension. So theoretically, if you get the bike set up for yourself, it should be a very nice setup indeed. Although, just as standard, this feels absolutely fine to me. It's not too firm. A little bit firmer than the other Bonnevilles, but you know, you could ride on it for hours and you wouldn't be uncomfortable. The seat, it's got a lot of movement on here, even though it's you know, theoretically a single person seat. Hello, scooterist. So you can move around, so you've got plenty of options there if you're doing a longer journey. You're not going to be in any discomfort whatsoever. Once again, the clutch is very, very light on this bike, which is nice. Bar end mirrors work very well. A bit ugly though. I think I'd swap those out for the smaller bar ends that you can get. But like all the new Triumphs, they've really done well on the fit and finish. I mean, this chrome yoke, lovely. The dials look fantastic with the brushed aluminium. Even the plastic brake reservoir isn't too bad. I think I'll still change it out for an anodised one. But, you know, it's improved on the old white one that they used to have. This bike has 3 riding modes. You change it via the button down here, marked mode. So it's got a rain, a road and a sport mode. It does all the usual things to do with, you know, tightening up the throttle response, that sort of stuff. And this bike also, of course, being ride-by-wire, has ABS and traction control. But on this bike, the ABS is switchable. You can turn it off. I have no idea why you'd want to do that, but you can do it if you want to. handling on this is much faster than on the T120. It doesn't feel such a heavy bike, although I imagine it's a very similar weight. I'll give you the numbers shortly when we do the walk around. But it feels to me like it handles better than the T120. That could be something to do with the suspension, could be to do with the weight, could be to do with the riding position. But more of a rider's bike. Okay, let's find somewhere to stop and let's do a little walk around on this bike. So here she is then, the Triumph Thruxton R, brand new, liquid cooled, new for 2016, much awaited as I say. Nice bike, has to be said. I was quite... you know, I've seen a few reviews in these and they've all been kind of gushing and saying how great these bikes are, so I was quite keen to say some negative stuff about it, but I have to say it handles much better than I thought it was going to compared to the other Bonnevilles, even the new ones. This thing just handles. It's very, very nice. I don't know if that's down to the suspension or what, but yeah, handles very nicely. Got the big old Brembo M50s on this, which are nice. It's got the Showa big piston forks, as I mentioned, which look good in gold and match the Olins at the back, which is nice. And once again, they've done great things with all the details, so you know, the fake carbs, all the little logos, even the oil filler cap is quite nice on this one. So yeah, looking really good. This is the R model, as I say, so it's got a few trinkets over and above the base Thruxton, but I guess this is the one that most people are going to be going for. Even things like the raised Triumph logo, very nice. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of the cafe racer look, so if it was this handling and this performance on the T120, then I'd definitely be in the market for one of these. I'm not so keen on the looks of the Thruxton. I know I'll be no doubt flamed. Many people love the looks of the thing. There's no doubt quality-wise, it's just built very nicely indeed. The quality of the build is brilliant on these new Triumphs, but I just don't like the cafe racer style, unfortunately. But then you can customise them, so there might be some leeway there. So in terms of the numbers then, this particular bike's tuned to 97 brake horsepower, although it has the same 1200cc engine as the Bonneville T120. In terms of torque, 102 Nm, so slightly less than the T120. And weight-wise, it's 204 kilograms dry, so a little bit lighter. And it does feel it when you ride it as well, and again, that might be reflected in that better handling. Seat height wise, she's 810mm, but very narrow, as you can probably see here. It's nice and narrow, this seat, so you can get your feet down, no problem at all. Doesn't feel a tall bike in any way. Again, comes with lots of modern bits and pieces, so I've already mentioned ABS and traction control, but it even has things like a USB socket underneath the seat so you can charge your phone, which are just nice little touches. Up here, the clocks and dials, lovely again. The finish on the yoke, absolutely fantastic. Switch gears, all nice, and you've got this kind of faux Le Mans fuel tank thing here, which I'm not sure about that. I think if you're going to do that, you should do the real thing. This has got the lock underneath it, which I think looks a bit naff really, but a lot of people like it. So there we are. That's the Triumph Thruxton R. That's what she looks like. Let's jump on and have a little last ride and just sum up. So in summary then, the Triumph Thruxton R, the last of the new Bonnevilles that I've ridden. So I've ridden them all now, the Street Twin, the T120 and now this. And definitely saved the best till last. It's a shame, I don't much like the cafe racer styling, but this bike is leagues ahead of the others in terms of handling, just the way it feels. It's just lovely. It does feel like a properly modern bike, although it doesn't look like one. The fit and finish is, again, like all new Triumphs, absolutely outstanding. No problem there. They've stepped up a league into premium quality bikes as far as I'm concerned. The bike sounds nice, the suspension feels good, it's comfortable, the brakes work well, the dials and gauges all work well. It's not missing anything except for heated grips. I like it a lot, so thumbs up for that one. I think overall I'd have to give it a rating of 5 out of 5 for this type of bike, because they've just got it so right, I think. So I hope that's been of some interest to you, and I look forward to speaking to you next time. Until then, this has been the Missenden Flyer. Cheerio.